So in a fiery speech, Vladimir Putin claims that Russia is under attack? Let's talk about it in today's video. Hi, I'm Mike Reiner. I'm a lifelong Democratic activist who's concerned about the direction our country is taking. I'm also a lawyer and an academic, and I'm here to help you stand up to the BS of the MAGA crowd. So the occasion was the annual Victory Day celebration, remembering the Soviet victory over the Nazis in World War II, the day that we here in the United States refer to as VE Day, for Victory in Europe. The Russians, as you know, paid a terrible price in World War II. And the Soviet resistance to the Nazi threat is central to their national narrative, much the way that we here in the United States talk about, say, the unjustified attack on Pearl Harbor, and how we fought back against the evil Nazis and Japanese in World War II. But the price that we Americans paid was minuscule compared to the upwards of 20 million dead that the Soviets experienced. So each year, this is a very solemn ceremony, including a parade with military equipment on display trying to show how strong Russia is, and remembering the millions who gave their lives for the Soviet Union. Now, in a bit of irony, a significant portion of those millions who gave their lives for the Soviet Union were actually Ukrainians. And that brings us to today's story, which is that Vladimir Putin took the occasion of this memorial to give a speech that was as delusional as anything we've heard from him, talking again about how the Russians are under attack while they're attacking the Ukrainians. It really takes some mental gymnastics to be able to accept the arguments that he's making. But before we actually watch the speech and react to it, it's short, don't worry. It's worth noting that the Victory Day parade usually involves something that we've all seen pictures of, with the many tanks and various military equipment parading down the streets of Moscow, as well as at other cities across the former Soviet Union. Well, as it turns out, this year, not only were many parades canceled across Russia, but the parade in Moscow was decidedly smaller than in the past, including relatively little military equipment. Could this be because the Russians have lost so much military equipment in Ukraine that they're literally unable to fill a parade? That seems to be the speculation among many close Russia watchers. But just to show you how crazy this speech is, let's take a look at it right now.
Сегодня цивилизация вновь находится на решающем переломном рубеже. Против нашей Родины вновь развязана настоящая война. Но мы дали отпор международному терроризму, защитим и жителей Донбасса, обеспечим свою безопасность.
Okay, note, now he's trying to associate this with the fight by the Soviet Union against international fascism and Nazism. And the argument he's essentially making is that Donbass and large sections of Ukraine are and always have been part of Russia, that they were never separate from Russia. So the fact that authority over these sections of what he believes are still Russia are being exerted by the government in Kyiv is to him an example of essentially foreign control over Russian territory. That's how he kind of defends this as being a defensive operation. Now, it's important that he defines this as defensive because research into people's attitudes has shown that we're much more sympathetic and responsive when we're in danger of losing something than we have the chance to gain something. So it's important for him to try to position this as a war of defense, a war that was forced on the Russians, rather than what it actually is, which is a war of aggression and a war of choice that really was only forced upon the Ukrainians. Furthermore, the argument that somehow these parts of Ukraine never wanted to be separate from Russia really falls flat. I mean, there's no doubt that there is dissension within Ukraine, just like there is in any country. There is in the United States. But everybody in Ukraine has clearly come together to support the defense of their country against this Russian aggression. And the initial establishment of Ukraine happened as a result of referenda, which, unlike the fake referenda that have been conducted by the Russians in Crimea, the Donbass, and other parts of Ukraine that they occupy or wish to occupy, have been widely acknowledged as fair and honest. And the vote was overwhelmingly, like to the tune of 90% in favor of joining a separate Ukraine. So the question is, should the people who live in an area be able to determine which country they're part of, or do they not have the right to do that? According to Vladimir Putin, they do not have the right to do that. And that's actually the central argument here. Let's keep watching, though.
Для нас, для России, нет недружественных, враждебных народов ни на Западе, ни на Востоке. Как и абсолютное большинство людей на планете, мы хотим видеть будущее мирным, свободным и стабильным.
Now again, this is where he's trying to position Russia as the good guy, claiming, we're for peace, we're not in favor of war, this was forced upon us, this wasn't a choice we made. So who is the bad guy? Let's keep watching.
Считаем, что любая идеология превосходства по своей природе отвратительна, преступна и смертоносна. Однако западные глобалистские элиты по-прежнему твердят о своей...
Yes, the bad guys are the Western globalist elites. He'd be referring to us, by the way, claiming that we're pitting people against each other. But then let's just watch what he then proceeds to do.
Исключительности. Стравливают людей и раскалывают общество. Провоцируют кровавые конфликты и перевороты. Сеют ненависть, русофобию, агрессивный национализм.
Yes, aggressive nationalism, allowing people to determine which country they want to be a part of. But let's keep watching.
Уничтожают и семейные, традиционные ценности, которые делают человека человеком.
Ah, yes. We're destroying the traditional family values that define what people are. What do you think he's referring to there? Could it be the culture wars? For those who think that the Republicans engaging in this culture war within the United States is something exceptional, it has to be viewed as a part of this worldwide anti-democratic, pro-authoritarian movement that's headed by Vladimir Putin and his lackey Donald Trump. And if you don't believe it, here it is right there. Let's keep watching.
Похоже, они забыли, к чему привели безумные притязания нацистов на мировое господство.
Yes, again, he's trying to compare the Ukrainians to Nazis, forgetting the fact, of course, that President Zelensky is Jewish, but that's neither here nor there. But the problem he's claiming is that it's world domination. It's not that the Ukrainians want to join the West, that they view it as an opportunity to enrich themselves and become more successful and freer, but that we're essentially pushing our ideology upon Ukraine. And that's what he's defending them against. Let's keep watching.
Забыли, кто разгромил это чудовищное, тотальное зло, кто встал стеной за родную землю и не пожалел своих жизней ради освобождения народов Европы. Непомерные амбиции, высокомерие и вседозволенность.
You can see there behind him some of the veterans of World War II, just showing how central the World War II narrative is to Russia's national identity. Let's keep watching.
Неизбежно оборачиваются трагедиями. Именно в этом причина катастрофы, которую переживает сейчас украинский народ.
Yes, I love how he puts this. This is the reason for the tragedy that the Ukrainian people are currently experiencing. I love how he puts it. It's not that he's killing Ukrainian civilians, it's that they happen to be experiencing a tragedy. And it's a shame that it's happening, but hey, nothing he can do about it. Let's keep watching.
Он стал заложником государственного переворота и сложившегося на его базе преступного режима его западных хозяев, разменные монеты в реализации их жестоких, корыстных планов. Мы видим, как в ряде стран безжалостно и хладнокровно разрушают мемориалы советским воинам, сносят памятники великим полководцам, создают настоящий культ нацистов и их пособников, а память о подлинных героях пытаются стереть и оболгать.
Again, he's trying to associate his opponents with the Nazis because, again, this is just so central to the Russian national narrative. Let's keep watching, though.
Такое надругательство над подвигом и жертвами победившего поколения – это тоже преступление. Откровенный реваншизм тех, кто цинично и неприкрыто готовил новый поход на Россию.
And this is where he's trying to say that the goal here is to try to destroy Russia and the traditions that underpin it, and to disrespect the memory of the fight that they engaged in World War II. Let's keep watching.
Кто собрал для этого неонацистскую нечисть со всего мира. Их цель, и здесь нет ничего нового, добиться распада и уничтожения нашей страны, перечеркнуть итоги Второй мировой войны. Отдаем должное участникам сопротивления, которые отважно сражались с нацизмом, бойцам союзнических армий США, Великобритании, других государств. Помним и чтим подвиг воинов Китая в битве с японским милитаризмом. Убежден, опыт солидарности, партнерства в годы борьбы с общей угрозой – это наше бесценное наследие.
I love here how he talks about that there was an international coalition that was created, including the Soviet Union, the United States, Great Britain, and China. He mentions all of them, that there was this international coalition that stood up against Nazism and defeated it. And he says that this is part of the legacy of Russia. Quite in contrast, by the way, with today, where you literally have an international coalition opposed to his invasion of Ukraine. Let's keep watching.
Прочная опора именно сейчас, когда набирает силу необратимое движение к более справедливому многополярному миру, основанному на принципах доверия и неделимой безопасности.
Ah, yes, Vladimir Putin. He's so committed to peace and stability. There you have it. Well, if you want to see where I react to another one of Putin's crazy speeches, check out this video over here. I'll see you then. In the meantime, let's hope for continued progress. Thank you.